And me too.
Are we
Yeah.
on are we on Facebook too?
Uncle Victor, are we on Facebook too? I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna join on Facebook.
I'm not sure if you can join on Facebook,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay,
Um,
I'll stay. I'll stay.
Uncle Victor, is this going on Facebook? I know when I was in the studio, it was Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But I know this is audio, and we're just calling in, and we don't have one of us present in the studio, so I'm not sure. Uncle Victor, are you there? Not at the moment. Okay. All right. But yeah. Let's see. We'll start shortly. It's just 7 o'clock. Um. The plan would be I would try and lead from this side. Um. And then there will be opportunity for all of us to contribute. So this is going to be very interactive section.
Mhm.
Um, and with that, our audience who are listening to us from home will be able to get some form of knowledge, understanding, and
Mhm.
awareness about stroke. I would
Mhm.
also try and we're allowed to speak English and Tree. So I'll be speaking some bits and bits of Tree and English as we go along. Um,
Mhm.
I might be asking you lot some questions here and there.
Mhm.
Um, they will not be very difficult, and by all means, if you can't answer, it's all right to defer the question to the next person, so that we can all learn from each other. All right. It's here for Edamasi. Say, and then I join here our hot digital radio station. Uh, it's been a while. You know, Eddie Nkita ho ache kakra, but it's because of one or two issues. That's why. But as always, you're always in our prayers, and we're always thinking about you. Today, we are lucky to have in the house lots and lots of experts, nurses, doctors, and obviously our very own Van Dyke and Uncle Victor who are with us. We are discussing a very, very important topic, stroke. The month of May is considered Stroke Awareness Month. So all the way from beginning of May till the end of May, we are supposed to be talking and talking about this. Did and the specific color for the stroke awareness is purple. Is anybody wearing the purple? Auntie Josephine?
Actually, my cover is purple.
Lovely, lovely. Excellent. Brilliant.
My-
Good. To be honest, I didn't know purple was the color for stroke until today. I was
Mhm.
reading a bit about it,
Mhm.
and then I found out it's purple. So if you are not wearing purple today, at least try and wear some purple in the month of May to sensitize and draw awareness to people about stroke. Um, I want to apologize also at you for Monfan Chair. We are very sorry. We will not be able to allow for call-in sections because of just a technical issue, not because we don't want to hear from you, but mostly because the technical aspect of this cannot happen. All right, so we'll start by way of introduction. I will allow everybody to introduce themselves. I would start for myself, and then I'll call people by your names. Then you can tell our audience who you are. If you want to speak Tree, that's fine. If you want to speak English, that's also okay. And once the introduction is done, we would get into it. Your friend Mark Nyanzu, me a doctor. I'm one of the doctors, and I've come on the show several times to engage and interact our audiences. And my son Ababiam. And this time I've come with a lot more people, which is amazing. We have, I think, Mrs. Jessica Chumesi has also joined. Meye Ajuma Ewo Hall City. I'm a brain doctor and also a spine doctor. So by all means, if you have any brain problems or any spine problems, obey me, Ashishemi. You can look for me and I'll be able to draw some few things or points for you. So that is me. When I'm not working in the hospital, I work for the Ghana Doctors and Dentists Association as the chair of the education committee. I like playing football a lot, and I have a family of 3 boys. Yeah, and that's me. So next will be Auntie Josephine. Auntie Josephine, if you tell our audience a bit about you, I will be grateful. I think Josephine is not ready yet, so I would move on to the next person, and that will be Ajoa. Off you go.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ajwa Ajay-Binhini. I'm a practice nurse working in South London. So as a practice nurse, we deal with people with diabetes, people who have cardiovascular disease, immunizations, and dressings. I'll leave it at, and other things, but I'll leave it at that for now. Bye.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ajwa. That's very helpful. We are very, very happy to have you. As we know that it's Saturday morning, we are all very busy. We have our own things to do, but we've taken time to be here. Next will be our very own Jacqueline Bamford. If you can hear me and you want to give us a bit about you, we'll be happy.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jacqueline Bamford. I am a consultant obstetrician. And so I deliver babies during the day, and I'm also what we call a fetal medicine specialist. So I scan pregnant women and look at how the baby is developing in the womb during the pregnancy. I'm also the president of the Ghanaian Doctors and Dentists Association. We are a UK charity of doctors of Ghanaian origin. Some graduated in Ghana, some graduated in the UK, and also many other countries. And we work together to try to collaboratively work with the doctors in Ghana and to help to raise awareness of health conditions and also come back to Ghana to do health outreach. So please check out our website. It's GDDA website. And we also have a conference coming up in October in the UK. So for all the Ghanaian doctors and anyone who is able to visit, the information is also on our website, our Instagram, our LinkedIn page. I work in Bedfordshire, and I also am very much interested in women's health because I'm an obstetrician, and I look forward to an opportunity of coming and talking about women's health on this platform. Thank you.
Excellent. Medawase, Jacqueline Bamford. We thank you so much, Dr. Bamford. There you go. She gave it to you first on Hot Digital. If you have any issues with pregnancy or babies, and especially at the most early stage, then look for her. She'll be very helpful. All right, I will double up a bit into for again. Let me thank you all Yedamasipa anopa emuti ewo hot digital radio station. So yeah, best start it shortly, but yeah, a bit of introduction. Because ene nyame adaroma enya a lot of us present to talk about stroke. Helen, please, if you can hear me,
Yeah.
I'll be happy if you can introduce yourself briefly. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Helen Eningwatson.
Yes.
I am a retired midwife. I was a
Yes.
midwife for over 35 years at the West
You are.
Middlesex Hospital and a
Yeah.
supervisor of midwives.
Yeah.
Very passionate about maternity cases,
Yeah.
mother
Yeah.
and babies.
Yeah.
And also, I'm passionate about health awareness. So
Yeah.
I'm part of the DNA education group.
Yeah.
And we raise awareness and engage with the community to look after our health. So I'm
Excellent.
very excited to be on this panel. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you very much, Helen, for all the work you do. And I must say that you're all doing very well because a lot of you have muted yourself, which is very great when you are not talking. So the house rules are already being instigated without even me telling you. So I am glad. Auntie Josephine, I think you are ready now.
Yeah. Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name Mpocho of Ethiopia. Good morning.
Nice.
We're from Josephina Bibu.
Yeah.
Also, me a retired modern matron, district nurse in my specialty.
Yeah.
Currently, me a care provider
Yeah.
in Enfield. Me a chair for Ghana Nurses Association.
Yeah.
And support all the Ghanaian registered nurses in UK. Registered charity as well.
Yeah.
Obi registered Ghanaian nurse can join us because we help the community to raise awareness in our nursing friend and career development as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. What will we be without our nurses? Thank you so much for the good work you're doing, Auntie Josephine.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you here. I'll move on to Mrs. Jessica Chumasi, please.
Morning, everybody. My name's Jessica Chumasi. I work as a nurse practitioner in Bedfordshire in a GP surgery, and I'm also part of GNA. And we are all here because we like to promote health promotion amongst the Ghanaian community. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent. Thank you so much, Mrs. Jessica Chumasi. We are happy to have you. We are almost done with the introduction. We have our very own lady. Lady, if you can hear me, and if you want to introduce yourself briefly. If not, there she goes. I can hear her. She's unmuted herself. So please go ahead.
Good morning, all.
Morning.
I'm really glad to be here. My name is Ivy J. Huapia. I am the Ghana Nursing Association education lead. And I work I manage a team of nurses in a local, an NHS trust locally, and my background is in district nursing. With Ghana Nursing Association education, what we do is we focus on ensuring that the members are developed not only in Ghana, but not only in UK, but across in Ghana. So we're doing a lot of international education and staff team development. Basically, as Auntie Helen said, we are very passionate about health awareness, and we ensure that the community, the health of the community, is well promoted. We continue to do a good job, as Mr. Mark said, and we love to be here. If you have any issues about nursing, in terms of GNA, in terms of development, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.
Amazing. We have 15 minutes on the clock. If you're listening to us from your bedrooms, from work, probably on your way to work, maybe you're coming out of work. We want to thank you for tuning in. We'll be talking about stroke, and then there'll be time for us to also discuss a community outreach program that is going to happen in June. We have done it 3 years in a row now. It's mostly in October. This year we have been blessed. Nyame Adaroma, you're 2 times. The first one will be in June. So we'll talk about it with that is going to happen in June. We have done it three. We've done it 3 times in a year, and we'll be doing it twice this year, which is really, really exciting. And it's more because we think patronage has been wonderful. We know that people come, and health is very important. The more we talk about it, the more we let people know about issues in the community, the better it is for us. Healthy people grow healthy countries. So, stroke, we are going to zoom into it quickly. But as you have rightly heard, there are a few people on the platform who will be happy to talk about it. We are live on Hot Digital Radio, which is the #1 diasporian radio station. Things that affect millions of people around the world. It's stroke awareness. I wonder if anybody knows how to say stroke in the Ghanaian language. Is there a word for stroke in the Ghanaian language? It's open to the floor. If anyone knows how to say stroke in Ghanaian language, whether it's chi, whether it's ewe, whether it's nzima, whatever. If anyone knows, please enlighten me. I tried to find it somewhere, but I couldn't. The floor is quiet. I don't think there's a stroke word, a Ghanaian stroke word there. Is there? No. Okay, so we all stay with stroke. Stroke can happen suddenly and without warning. It can affect anyone, young or old. So the main things we'll talk about are: 1, what is stroke? The warning signs, the causes and prevention. We'll do a bit of emergency response, recovery, and rehabilitation. And there are certain myths and misconceptions that are associated with stroke that we'll briefly also look at some of them. We'll hear from our experts. And unfortunately, we don't have a stroke survivor amongst us, but I know because we all work in the health sector, we might have seen few stroke patients. We'll be able to infer from those experiences and enlighten our audiences. This is a conversation that's for every family. Everybody should hear about stroke. And it's good to know that stroke can be prevented. Sadly, a lot of people ignore the warning signs or delay getting help when it happens. I don't blame them. It could be that they just don't know, or 2, they don't actually know what to look out for. What are the signs? What are the symptoms? And these are important things we would aim to cover or at least highlight by the end of today's platform. Once again, I would like to thank Hot Digital Radio Station, especially your wonderful CEO, Mr. Van Dyke, and your supporting cast, Uncle Victor, who work tirelessly around the clock every day to bring the shows together. My first question will go to the floor again. I think you can put up your hand and I'll call your name so that I don't have a lot of people open up their mics for background reverberations. When we say stroke, what is stroke? Oh, there you go. Ajua, please. The floor is all yours.
Okay, so it's kind of an interruption of blood supply to part of the brain.
Mm, mm, mm. That's very good. It's an interruption to the what? To the blood supply to the brain. I would elaborate a bit on that. To say that the brain is quite. It's a delicate structure. It's very tiny overall, considering the size of our body. But because it's so crucial to everything that we do, every little injury or inflammation or any discrepancy or inequilibrium to the brain affects us immensely. The blood vessels in the brain are plenty, they are many, and God being so wonderful, He gave us many blood supplies in the brain, what you call, there are some collaterals. And sometimes a blockage in one of those blood vessels could affect us and makes us do things that are not right. Yeah, and this stroke causes these things. But there are different types of stroke that is also very important for people to know. Adjoa has rightly said that a block or interruption in blood supply to part of your brain can cause stroke. Is there a fancy word for this? What is the specific word that we use for this block in blood supply? Any takers? Any ideas? Okay. All right. I would say that there are two types of stroke. One of them is called ischemic stroke, and the other is called Auntie Lady, please go on.
Well, I think I'm a bit too late, but
it's all right.
yeah. I was going to mention ischemic and hemorrhagic, but you went ahead of me, so yeah.
That's fine. That's totally fine. So ischemic and hemorrhagic stroke, yeah. Anyone can explain what those two actually means?
I'll give it a go and then explain the ischemic.
Okay, that's all right.
And this is where a blood clot blocks a vessel
yes.
Within the brain, whereby blood is not allowed to flow. I want to keep it as simple as possible so everybody understands, because we are talking to everybody. So we've got a blood clot blocking a vessel, and therefore blood flow is blocked and is not able to go through, and that causes that leads to that kind of stroke.
That's correct.
Yeah. And the other one is when, I don't know whether I'm allowed to talk about hemorrhagic as well.
Yeah, you're allowed to. Yeah, you're allowed to.
So hemorrhagic is where there's a burst in the blood, the vessel tends to. What's the word? Yeah, there's a kind of I'll say hemorrhagic, but the hemorrhages. I'm not sure how to explain it in there.
That's all right.
But there's a burst of blood vessel, and therefore that also impacts the flow of blood.
Excellent, excellent. So you've actually touched on it nicely. So ischemic, as the word says, it means that another word for it will be infarct. So there's complete blockage or supply to that part of your brain. And what happens is that it means that that part of the brain becomes dead. It's so it's not functioning. Those tissues or those cells stop functioning. The other one, as you have said, hemorrhagic. Hemorrhage means what? Blood. Yeah, hemorrhage means blood, and we expect blood to be in the blood vessel. Now, sometimes there's a bleed. Sometimes there's a bleed. There are tiny, tiny vessels, blood vessels in the brain that can what? Rupture or burst. We'll talk about the different causes and the different reasons why ischemic stroke happens, why hemorrhagic stroke happens along the line. There is also a third type of stroke, which sometimes we don't talk about so a lot, but we call that TIA. Anybody knows what is TIA? I'll probably I'll again leave it to the floor so anybody puts up their hand and tell us what is TIA, so that we can move on from there. Okay, Ajwa, is that a thumbs up? Is that a hands up?
It's a hands up.
It's a thumbs up. Okay, all
No,
right.
it was a hands up.
It was a hands up. Okay, there you go. It's all yours. Please go for it.
Okay. TIA. So it's kind of an acronym. Stands for transient ischemic attack.
Yeah.
And
correct.
So I'll just elaborate a little bit if I can, and you can
please.
correct me if I'm mistaken. It basically means that there's a very temporary cessation of blood supply to a part of the brain.
Yeah. That's 100% correct. Correct. So the symptoms for that is what is short-lived. So I mean, we'll get into the symptoms shortly, but with TI, it means that you have a funny feeling. It could be weakness, it could be numbness. Sometimes it could even be small, what it calls seizure, and it's quickly, you start functioning properly. Everything just correct themselves, and we consider them as signals and signposts that this person, you could probably suffer a bigger stroke or not. But if you are getting tiny stroke, it means you need to check something. You need to work something out and make sure that it doesn't become a bigger incident. So we're doing very well. We've laid the basics. We know what we are talking about. We know what is stroke. We've looked at the types. That is excellent. Thanks, all of you, for your input. I really appreciate it. I will go back to my audience and thank you again for being with us. It's here for Edamosi. If you're listening to us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or on your very own radio, and if you're in your house, in your home, we really appreciate the time you've given to listen. And then kasa afa stroke. We are talking about stroke, and we'll also talk about our outreach program that is coming up. Time is running quickly. To my surprise, actually, it's already 30 minutes since we started. So I will try and double up as much as I can. Also, I want to obviously go slowly so that we can get the concept and understand few things. On to the next thing. Sometimes, a lot of times, we confuse what is stroke with heart attack. Sometimes, a lot of times, is there any difference at all between stroke and heart attack? If anybody can draw on some few points that they think can help our audience understand the difference. You can heart attack, stroke. Is it the same? Is it the same? And I say, and you're the same. Is there any difference? All right, Helen, please.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Stroke, affect brain, only brain.
Yes.
And heart attack, affect wakuma. And you can stroke or they do the brain, maybe affect. na yɛka heart attack so a yɛwɔ akoma nti
Mm.
nneɛma mmienu a ɔde yɛhwɛ ne yie stroke yɛ wo brain no w'adwene no na
Yes.
heart attack so yɛ wɔ akoma
Yes.
nti difference wɔ mu no yɛ ɛkoro yɛ wo brain no w'adwene no na ɛkoro so yɛ wɔ akoma nti etiefoɔ nsusua mmienu a wɔ mu no ɔno no ɔnyɛ.
That is wonderful. Auntie Helen, that's very good. Inti Akumano, oh, lady's hand is up again. Lady, go for it.
Oh, I was just I think it's the wrong hand. Sorry.
That's totally fine. Oh, Helen, you're back again.
No,
Go on.
it's hysterical hand. It's the wrong one. I'm trying to
It's
put it
all
down.
right. I like the impulse and how you are all getting your hands up and thumbs up and everything. It's wonderful. It's brilliant. Yes. So it's important to know that, say blood supply to your heart, can also cause, obviously heart attack, what we popularly call as what? Infarction, myocardial infarction. So myocardium just means heart. It's just a fancy word. And I stands for infarction or ischemic for that matter. Now, another thing I would like for us to all know is that with the brain is a funny structure. Sometimes all this, even the hemorrhagic stroke, it can also be caused by a lot of other things. Sometimes it's not just even a rupture of blood vessel. You could have like a brain tumor that can just bleed and give you hemorrhagic stroke. You can have some vascular structures that can also just bleed and give you hemorrhagic stroke. And sometimes even a tumor can be so big that it can put pressure on your blood supplies to block delivery of blood to specific part of your brain. So the topic we are talking about today is really crucial. It's so important. And me per se audience no any for no mutie no you take some few points out of these discussions because I think it's so important and it's so crucial. Yeah. How serious is stroke globally speaking, on a global point of view? Do we think stroke is very, very serious? Why we here this morning talking about stroke? Why is it so important? Is it a idea? We need to spend time on this. Why are we talking about stroke? Why is it so important? I think that stroke is a serious issue. Why is it such a serious matter? Ajua, please go ahead.
Hello. It's sorry. Basically, it's a major cause of mortality and morbidity. That's kind of the scientific term, which basically means it's a major cause of death and illness. So I'm not quite sure on the exact figures, but it's probably still in the top 5 causes of that worldwide. The top, it's within the top 5, I believe.
Yes. I agree with you. I would give you some numbers because you've talked about numbers. Yeah. So according to the American Stroke Association, someone in the United States has a stroke every 40 seconds. And someone dies from stroke every 35 minutes. Globally, the World Health Organization estimates that 15 million people suffer a stroke each year, with 5 million left permanently disabled. Despite these figures, many people cannot identify the warning signs of stroke or do not know that rapid treatment can dramatically improve outcomes. Intuition numbers now are very alarming. It's worrying. Think about it. Every 40 seconds, someone get stroke. And every 3.5 minutes, someone dies from it. So, I mean, that is very worrying. So even within the last 20 minutes, somebody has already had stroke somewhere. Think about it. So the significance and importance of this condition or this illness cannot be underscored enough. Cannot be underscored enough. So I would leave it at that for now. We'll have a quick opportunity to talk about the outreach and the community awareness that is going to happen this June. We're already in May. Today is the 16th of May. We have about 3 to 4 weeks to the outreach. This year's outreach, the first one is going to happen in London. In London, there's a place called East India Dock Road. The postcode is E146DE. E146DE. The first line of address is 119 East India Dock Road, Poplar, London. Now, this year, the theme of I will bring one of my colleagues to tell us the exact theme of the outreach, because I might get it wrong. I think my brain is playing tricks on me right now. Anyone knows the theme for this year's outreach? Is it our health, your well-being? Is it empowering women? Is it from the mic to the community? Yes, Auntie Helen.
Yeah, this June, the theme is Your Health, Our Priority, Together We Care. Your health, our priority, together we care. Excellent. This is the theme for this June.
That is so very, very... Yes, and who can attend this outreach? Is it open to everyone? Is it all ages? Yes, Helen.
Oh, sorry. Obia, everybody. It's open to everybody in the community. Yes, young and old, everybody. Especially if you are even healthy. The healthier, the better. Come. It's not just for the sick people. It's for everybody to come and listen to what we have to offer, to engage with us, to learn something that can save life, to save your family's life, your friend. So we invite the whole community to come. It's for all of us to look after ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Will there be any screening? Will we have some screening done? Yes, lady, please go for it.
Thank you, Mark. I suppose I just wanted to touch on the theme a little bit so that people understand. Your health, our priority, together we care. Sometimes, we don't tend to prioritize our health as much as we should. Not only the Ghanaian community is across, but of course, our focus is the Ghanaian community. And we chose this theme so that we will prioritize our health. We will make it number one in our lives, because as they say, health is wealth. If you are able to prioritize your health now, then of course everything else follows. And of course, together we care. We are all coming together to identify what we need to do to prioritize our health, to focus on it, to learn how we do that. That is why we chose this theme. Just for the chief to know that is what we're going to do, and explain a bit more. So I just wanted to touch on what Auntie Helen said, but that is the aim the purpose of the theme that we chose. We are all coming together to learn how to prioritize our health and to make sure that we live healthily. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very helpful. So I did mention that the outreach will happen on the 16th. The time, is it 10? What time are we starting the program? When are we finishing? What do we expect our audience or our attendees to come with? Do they need to come with anything? Is it just their family and members, friends and family? Any specifics that we need to highlight to our potential attendees? What time is it starting? Is it 9 o'clock till 6 p.m.? When what a bit more details will be helpful, I think. If anyone has that and wants to share it to the audience, I will be happy. I do know that there will be some screening services. What specifically we'll be testing? Is it high blood pressure? Is it glucose levels? Anyone is happy to go ahead with this for me?
Okay, Madam,
yes, please.
It's here for yeah, here from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Obia Butumwaba, family and friends. Waba or you free screening.
Yes.
Waba blood pressure. Waba blood sugar.
Yes.
Waba height and weight.
Yeah.
Waba health advice as well about both men's health and women's health.
Yeah.
From the experts amongst you in the community. In Sino Obiambra, it's open to all. Venue Nusu very central with the popular Dockland Light Railway is opposite the place, and it's a very big room. There will be a Butum Wabana will be with prioritizing yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On that note, and with that in the background, knowing that in June there is somewhere you have to be to engage with other Ghanaians and health experts to talk about health. You have free screening service. I think there will even be dental services as well. So you can come with the kids, the younger ones, they can have their teeth checked, and we can all take advantage of the community services that Hot Digital is providing. We thank you all once again. Every your very homes or even at work, whatever you're doing this Saturday morning, say one time. We are moving on with stroke. Now, the key and most important thing we want to look at are the warning signs. The warning signs. DNA will be a stroke. What are the indicators? What are the quick things that if you are able to pick? Because like we said, time lost is brain lost. Time is brain when it comes to these markers. And I always say that most of the brain issues are emergencies. You don't play with it. It's emergency because every time and everything that you are able to identify, that fast thinking, that quick reaction, that this is my friend, this is my family member, this person is suffering from a brain condition and he needs help immediately. That is very crucial and that is important. And sometimes you can't fault people because not knowing that which you don't know, nobody can accuse you of. But if we are aware of them, then we are able to highlight it immediately when it happens. There is a quick acronym, what you call the FAST, FAST. So I would let some of my colleagues touch briefly on this. this fast, this acronym that, we need to what? Identify really quickly. So that once you pick these things up, the next thing is either 911, 119, or whatever the numbers are, or straight to A&E. Helen, I had your hand up there. Sorry, if you wanted to say something, or is it Josephine?
Yes.
Okay, Helen,
Just,
go first, and then I'll let
just,
Josephine come in.
just to add a little bit on the FAST, it's an acronym that the community is here for. So when you do a what, all of a sudden, the Nima is some Achiebi, the Nima Tia, who can as some Nano Achia, on to mean smiling, only a warning sign. And then they because of Papa Mawunsasu, and then they get Mawunsasu, and then lift up your arm onto me, or lift and the way droop down, down too. Oh, on your casa, or what problem then, Pocho, but within chap onto me, or try to overcome onto me. In this speech, is I affected. And to let him know I affected, the arm onto me, man and so. The speech I affected. Now, there, time is of the essence. Stroke, no, say, time, no control. Baby, able to matter, powerful, and then there, now, afterwards, in Tampa, Naring, emergency 999 will chrome her. Into Onyapa, into face, arm, and speech problems in time.
Amazing.
The first acronym. Into TF4, the Nimatia, then sound to the man and so on to make a say ye, into how woman can say fast we no kada, or a cry, but they be, and tam, after emergency, and you know, hospital, and to Kakan and Pesa Makaka, Madase.
Oh, Auntie Helen, you've murdered the tree. Oh, I love that. Wonderful. I didn't know that all these things can be said in tree. Oh, wonderful. I've learned so much today. Josephine, please go ahead with your hand up. Okay, maybe Josephine's not ready yet. Yes, Ajwa, over to you.
I was just saying, very well done to Auntie Helen. It was very eloquent and informative.
Yes. I totally agree. Josephine, would you want to say something or not yet? If not,
okay.
yes,
What
go
I
on.
was saying is that on an Auntie Helen Wakan, but let's say the say Paprono Sunyi Hanowo, no friend would say from Ghana na Wunya 999.
Yes.
And one dam sign then Paprono Neni Machia Kakra Untuma Manan Sado another nan or Casasa why you're confused and on Tumunkasa. In some na afre akeke for help wo compound ho na adze na wodze na to taxi wodze no call hospital.
Yes, that's also very, very important actually, because sometimes we don't have 999 or 119 or whatever the numbers are, and a lot of the times we rely on family to get us to a health center. Auntie Helen mentioned something that I wanted to touch a bit on, which is the aspirin. We're in a tendency to take aspirin because it's readily available at home. But the thing with stroke is that, yes, aspirin can be life-saving, which can help. But if it's hemorrhagic stroke, then usually aspirin is not the answer. In fact, aspirin could make that worse. It could make the bleed or that clot. Samojana A2 aspirin ebetumi amana asan aye kese. Now, it can be catastrophic. It can lead to severe mortality or morbidity. And aspirin is not always the answer. So I wouldn't recommend it to take it immediately if you're suspecting some form of stroke. And that's why, going to the hospital immediately is the answer, because Udruha, the first thing they would normally do is what you call a head scan quickly and very fast to make sure that you don't have a bleed in the brain. And then they would probably consider giving you that aspirin. So that is also something to keep in mind. Um, Obviously, the four things that we have mentioned, the FAST acronym, which is the face drooping, the arm weakness, the speech difficulty, uh, and I must also say that sometimes it could be loss of sensation. Yeah, feelings. They won't feeling also on someone yeah, was a sensation. I different kakra assessor. Those could all be signs of 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 stroke, and it could affect your leg. It could affect your arm. It could affect your face, your speech, and all of those stuff. There are also other symptoms that people need to watch out for. Obviously, those four are the key points, but there are other things that can also be signs and symptoms leading up to stroke, or it means a stroke has already happened. So we'll touch briefly on that. Again, my expert colleagues in the house, if you can touch on one or two things that you think will be useful for our audience so that they can also look out for those things. The floor is obviously wide open as always. So shoot me and hit me with your expertise. Yes, lady.
Yeah, I think balance is one of them.
Balance.
Balance. So
I like that one.
so if you are with somebody and you notice that they are not, their balance is off, is off coordination in terms of they are not able to balance themselves, or they are experiencing any form of it could be dizziness, it could be can come from whatever, but they are not balancing well. That is one of the symptoms that you need to as- address as part of. But before I go off, I just want to touch on, we talked about fast. But for
Yes.
me, the most important bit of the FAST acronym is the time. Because if you have a lived experience of somebody who has experienced stroke and the consequences was dire, then I think fast should be your priority. Sometimes, because of factors, there's so many factors that or influence our ability to do things. We want to hold on, or chankakra and that kind of thing. We don't have the time for chankakra, because chankakra has got major consequences. That I said, if you have a lived experience of somebody who suffered stroke and things were not done, I suppose, were not expedited on your good. I think what I'm trying to say is that the time is crucial. Just as Auntie Helen said, if you notice anything, even if you are not sure that that is what is happening, it's better to take the person to hospital for them to be seen to than to assume that they will be okay. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for highlighting that to our audience. Ajua.
You was asking for other symptoms of stroke?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Sort of sudden blurred vision or loss of vision.
Yes.
And sudden memory loss or confusion.
Yes. That is all very true. I'll tell you a story because I deal with this sort of stuff on a daily basis. So sometimes, and you'll be surprised that almost every patient comes with something slightly different. With this stroke, palaver. I had a patient once, and the story was that when you see in England, and especially in the cold seasons, we sleep with lots of blankets and and sheet and bed sheet. Yeah. So what she noticed was that she was unable to lift her blanket with her legs. That was the story, and which was very fascinating, to me. That she realized, oh, actually now I can't quite lift my blanket with my legs. And she came to the hospital, and lo and behold, suddenly, when she got a scan, there was something in the brain to completely explain that weakness that she was getting in her legs. So it's so important that sometimes the signs are subtle, and that but taking the necessary steps to get to hospital or letting somebody know about it could what save us from other significant disabilities. Yes, Helen, please go for it.
Just I may add that also sudden severe headache.
Yes.
Sudden
Yes.
severe headache.
Yes.
Also, it's a warning.
Yes.
Because of Ghana, we had in Birwano. Also, see and you and the paper, my son, Koda, ye pedamazin papa, Koda. Oh, and the pure sorry, I am so why you confused, crab into my money, so my son, Koda. Until we miss what Sister Ivy is saying and what Sister Josephine said, the time. Because I had a bearing 999, but yeah, no, I don't want to fear. Oh, many people can cry, Wakada. What's it? Oh, Fakolanum, no, on shed nonda. Young seriously. See, so people fear when you're sudden severe headache, another unsteady on his or her feet, why a bit confused. Now I a blurry kakranaza. And you can say, some dog can on so pocho. And you know, call hospital.
And then
And you know, call hospital.
Medas. Auntie Helen, I like it when you come in with your input because you cover the tree so well, and we are very, very happy and lucky to have you in our midst. So yes, headaches, and Auntie Helen, I will speak a bit about that sudden severe headache a bit because in the midst of all of these things that we are talking about, that phrase, the sudden severe headache, is so important because many times what that actually means is that you have had sudden bleed in your brain. Sudden bleed in your brain. And that sudden bleed in the brain is caused by something we call brain aneurysm. There are people living with brain aneurysm. Sometimes it doesn't rupture, and you might live with it for a long time. And it might rupture when you are maybe very late in your life, maybe in your 80s, 90s, and it might kill you immediately. Sometimes it ruptures when you are young, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, and the presentation is sudden, severe headache. And it's a very, very dangerous condition. It's probably one of the most dangerous stroke things that can happen. Because with that, 1/3 of the people don't survive even to the hospital. They just die. Another third make it to the hospital. They get treatment, but they are left with significant disability. And the other third get to hospital, they get treated, and they get out of the hospital and go back to live their life. So you could be one of those 1/3. So it is very, very important. It is very, very crucial to pay attention to these things. The first, as we have mentioned, the face drooping, the arm weakness, the timing, and then the speech problems, and then the other symptoms, as we have touched briefly on them, the dizziness, the blurring of vision, the incoordination, you're not walking quite right, you're swaying to one side, some numbness in different parts of the body, and confusion are all important things that we should pay attention to. I want to take a quick break regards the stroke. I want us to again thank our audience. It's here for Mendamase Anope, 16th of May, Saturday, early hours in the United Kingdom. Saying na yeshia ewo hot digital radio station so ayedi nkita ho afa stroke awareness. What we also want you to know is coming 20th of June in London, we have an health outreach program that we are organizing. It's open to everyone. It's free for everyone. The old and the young, we are all being encouraged to attend. We have done this 3 years in the running. This year, we are doing it twice, in June and October. The first one is just about 4 weeks away, and we'll be lucky to have lots of expert nurses, expert doctors, public health awareness, and our very own diplomatic mission group will be there to support. If I say Ubia, come and have your blood pressures checked, check your glucose levels. There'll be some dental screening as well. And there'll be important topics on empowering your health for your own well-being. That's the purpose of this outreach program. We want everybody to be aware of the health issues in our community and how to better live our lives. We'll all share our ideas, we'll all share our knowledge, and you don't have to pay anything to be there. Just make yourself available when you can. Share the news with your friends, share the news with your church members. Let us all be there. Brilliant. We have covered a lot of time, so we are going to move into other things. We are talking about stroke. We have covered that there are different types of stroke. For those who have just joined us, we've said there is hemorrhagic stroke, there is ischemic stroke, and there are things to look out for when someone has stroke. And time is of essence. Time is so important that you don't want to delay them from getting that health input, that important care, whether it's the hospital, in the community service, or even ambulance, even getting some help on the telephone will save somebody's life. The thing with stroke that I want to also emphasize is that when stroke happens to somebody, sometimes it doesn't kill you, but it might leave you with what significant disability. It could be temporary, it could be permanent. Now that effect affects the person and it also affects the family. So there are economic implications, there are social implications, and there is even mental health implications because it can affect your mood, it can affect your mind, and it causes all sorts of problems. Now, knowing about the condition is one thing, identifying the signs and symptoms is one thing, but can we actually prevent it from happening? So primary care is, or primary prevention is obviously the gold standard when it comes to all health conditions. How can we prevent the risk of stroke? How can we prevent the risk of stroke? There are things that we can do, there are things that we cannot do to help to reduce the risk of stroke. And that's the next thing we are going to cover. Is there a way we can what? Actually prevent or reduce the risk of uh, this catastrophic or cancerous condition? Are the things that increase the risk? Are the things that reduce the risk? Yeah, and I think both work in what, in contraction. If you know of what to do to reduce it, then you'll do it. If you know of what to increase it, then you'll try to what, not do those things. So that's the next thing that my colleagues I want us to talk about. What are some of the factors, the risk factors for preventing or increasing it? So if we can cover them side by side, I think it will be helpful. So again, the floor is open. I think Jessica's hand is up. Jessica wants to come in. Jessica, please. I will let you go first, and then I'll follow by Adjoa after that.
One of the major risk factors in stroke is having high blood pressure.
Yes.
So when your blood pressure is elevated,
yes,
that can increase your risk of having a stroke.
Mm.
Having a poor diet, so
Yeah.
not looking after yourself, not doing exercise, not
Yeah.
eating well,
Mm.
smoking, all of these factors
Yeah.
can increase your risk of developing a stroke.
Yeah. Thank you very much for highlighting those things. So poor diet. If you're not eating well, I will let Adjoa comes in before the media can throw one or two lights on things. Yes, Adjoa, go ahead.
I would sort of agree with what Jessica says and add to that is high cholesterol. That can be a risk factor for stroke, and diabetes.
Yeah. Diabetes, high cholesterol. And it's interesting because, yes, Helen.
Just to add about people who smoke.
Yes.
Smoking and also alcohol intake, we have to limit or stop smoking. That also adds to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say, it's I don't know, it's someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that smoking is not very common among the Ghanaian population. Is that right?
It used to be, but I think smoking has gone down a lot. If you go to Ghana even now, in the wider population, you wouldn't see people smoking as in times of old. So it is true. Smoking has reduced a lot among the Ghanaian population. Yeah, I agree with you.
That's good to know. I will also want to touch a bit on the high blood pressure. Yeah. Because we all know how high blood pressure is so important, and I think it's such a common thing, especially in the Black population, and for that matter, Ghanaian population. Almost by and large, every home that you go, somebody has high blood pressure. So it's there. Another factor that I think it's important for us to identify is family history of stroke. Is there a genetic predisposition to this? It could be yes, it could be no. A lot of time lifestyles are common in a particular home, so the kind of food that we all eat is similar, so probably that also plays a role. Ajua briefly touched on diet there. If you're not eating right, but most important also the time that you eat our food. By and large, the work. Yes, lady, please go ahead.
Thank you. I was going to add physical activity, regular exercises.
Yes.
When we talk about prevention, because that is connected to the high blood pressure. So if we do get the opportunity to exercise and have good physical activity, some of us go to the office and we sit there, we don't even get up for hours. We are just sitting there. So we need to get up and exercise, and that would help us manage our blood pressure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Talking about exercise, I'll say this before I forget. I don't know if all of you know, but I did 12 years of my life. I was in China. Yeah. So I did all my medical training and all my neurosurgical training. Now there was something that I noticed when I was there. Between is it around 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that, yeah? They had something they call square dance. Now this square dance was mostly filled with women, yeah? And the women will come together, sometimes maybe 20 women, 30 women, and it happens across the city, in different parts of the city. They have this square dance. And they come, what they do is that they put a little music and they do a sort of a dance, yeah, in a particular synchrony. And it was something that was happening every day, every day, you know. And I asked myself, why can't we do this in Ghana? You know, we know how to dance. We are music people. You know, we are music people. You know, it doesn't cost anything. You don't even have to go to the gym. It's just an open ground. You get there, somebody put on their phone or put on a little speaker, and you dance in a particular unison. You know, even if it's just exercising or jumping up and down for a few minutes, that I think saves lives, in my opinion. So I think it's the ladies to look into this and see if it's something that, you know, we can get it into the community, and so that it becomes a culture. When it becomes a culture, when it becomes a routine, becomes so easy, because by and large in England, for example, maybe going to the gym is easy, maybe we can afford it. There are councils that even offer free gym services, but when you take it back home, it's gym is a luxury. It's not everybody that can go to the gym. It's not everybody that has the financial ability to pay for subscription to a gym. But I personally don't like jogging. I always say that I cannot be running when nobody's chasing me. So it's very difficult for me to go running or go jogging. But if you come in communities, you know, and form small groups, the church groups, they come together maybe around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. We all gather, we do a little dance, a little body movement here and there. It will be very, very good. Yes,
Hi,
lady.
Mark.
Yes.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for
Hi, Jack.
raising that point. That's really a wonderful point. I just want to come here. I just want to come in here just to say something.
Go.
One of the things that I feel actually very passionate about is longevity and longevity of our population, our African community, our diaspora
Yes.
community.
Yeah.
Because what I see is people working hard during their lives,
Yes.
you know, building their lives, their families. Some people have two jobs. You know, some people have a morning job very early morning. They have an afternoon day job, and then they also have a little evening job. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that when people are building, they
Yeah.
don't see the effects, the compound effects it could potentially have on their health after
Correct.
50 when they
Yeah.
get older.
Yeah.
So it's like all this work in your 20s and 30s, but then in
Yeah.
your 50s and 60s, there potentially can be health conditions.
Yeah.
Women are busy. This is why I'm so passionate about women.
Yeah.
Women are busy looking after their children, building their families, working,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't take care of themselves. Now,
Yeah.
that extra 30 minutes
Yes.
to do a little workout, you know,
Yeah.
some people will even calculate. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I want to work out and I've been at work all day. You know, I've been seeing patients all day. I come
Yeah.
home in the evening. The kids and I are supposed to do a little workout, and I chicken out because I'm tired. You know,
Yeah.
but it's so important to
Yeah.
find the time to
Yeah.
do the walk, to do the
Yeah.
work, the exercise. And even if it's not going to the gym, for example, if you take the bus to work,
Yeah.
stop two stops before you should your normal stop, and then use that as a 10-15 minute walk
Yeah.
to get to your job. Okay.
Yeah.
As if you live in London, you're on the tube all the time, you're on the
Yeah.
buses all the time. When you go to the tube, instead of just taking the escalator, take the stairs.
Yeah.
You know, find ways of incorporating the little extra steps during the day, you know, using the stairs instead of using the lift, because you'll find that by doing all these small activities, you might pick up those extra steps that might be needed. Some people wear a watch and it tells them how many steps a day that they do.
Yeah.
You know, and it can help you to monitor, to make sure that in your day-to-day life, you are incorporating some kind of exercise. But to go back to my point, it's very important that during our lives, we don't neglect our health because of the busyness of life.
Yeah. And Jacqueline, you know, when you talked about the longevity, whatever that
Longevity.
word, longevity. You see, the Asians, I think, are still the people that live the longest, as it stands. And I think the reason is those things, you know, those square dance. I'm telling you, it was so peculiar when we were in China. It happens across the country, and it happens around the evening. And I take it by this time they've had their dinners. So when they finish their dinner, what they go to do is do the square dance. And it's happening all over. The group of women come together doing all these dance, you know, in the park, in their open spaces. They do it for a couple of minutes to hours before they go Monday to what? To Friday. It was non-stop. Yes, Ajua, go on, please. And then I'll come to Lady.
Oh, thank you for giving me another opportunity to talk. I was, it's kind of following on from what Josephine said. There are sort of kind of lots of practical ways in which to incorporate exercise basically into your lifestyle. Like, realize not everybody is a gym person. In some areas though of London, if you have certain health conditions, you can get free gym membership. There are open air spaces with kind of like gym equipment. There is Park Run. I just tell a little bit about it because you can do Park Run or Park Walk, which is a free. You just log on to the website, just go Park Run. It's a free 5K run or walk. That's not for everybody, I realise as well. There are certain walking groups as well. And the thing is, there are some walking and talking groups. And so sometimes that may be helpful because it's kind of like for your mind space as well. But aside of that, because sometimes you might feel you have to carve that out, if you have a friend, just doing like maybe a walk or a dance together just with a friend, because it is easier to do it if you've got company as well. So there are other things. Then the other thing is, last thing, on Diabetes UK, they have Move More as well. So if you go Diabetes UK, Move More, there's a series of exercises, and then you could just do them in your home and maybe take about 5 or 10 minutes. I think, have I got any other ideas about? So it is basically, I suppose I leave you with, there's a little saying that says, find a kind of exercise that you enjoy or an activity that you enjoy, and then just do it regularly.
And sorry, I'm just going to butt in just one, and then I won't say anything. So one other point I want to make about this is that the longevity thing is not just a lifespan, but it's living well. So people can live to, to old age, but what they want is they want to be living in good health, without disability. And all these neurological problems such as stroke, the problem with that is that whilst people are living, they are living not well. They're living with disability. They're living with the remnants of the stroke. So they may survive the stroke, but they may not have their limbs. They may have blindness. They may have the consequences of the stroke. So preventing it is not just about preventing the death, the mortality, but it's also reducing the morbidity so that people don't have to live long parts of their life in ill health. And that's very particular for Black people.
I totally agree. Yes, Lady, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mark, that perhaps we can incorporate some square dance in the health awareness event on the 20th. So, yeah.
I agree. Yes, I think so. I think we should really do this square dance. It's very good, believe me. And I think
prepare to lead on that, Mark.
Oh dear. Yeah. So because I mean recently I think it's picking up a bit of a momentum, but it's happening in the gyms. If you go on YouTube, you find that there are sections that there are music, that but this is only happening in the gym. And I think we should take it out there. When I visited Rwanda recently, so every 2 weeks they have something they do. They have a big park that sometimes the president attends, sometimes the vice, the first lady attends, and what they do is that it's an open exercise dance, and it's music and it's dance section, and it's open to everybody. And within that morning, from I think 9 o'clock or something like that, up to 12 o'clock, there are no cars running in the city of Kigali, just to allow for that to happen. It's something they do every 2 weeks. Yeah. So I think it's something that we should pay particular attention and try and take it out there. Yes, Ajua, go on, please.
Sorry to come again. It's just a little plug. Ghana Nurses Association are doing a sponsored walk at Olympic Park on the, correct me if I'm wrong, Auntie Joe, is that on the 6th or the 7th of June? So anybody's welcome to join us to walk around Olympic Park.
Where is Olympic Park, please?
Stratford.
Is that at Stratford?
Stratford. Yes, Stratford.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good. And it's just the right. Yes, Josephine.
Yes, I'm just agreeing to what I just said. It's on the 6th, and it starts at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
to 1 or something. You know, after the walk, then we all meet in front of Max and Spencer's and find something to eat and then go home.
Oh, that's very good. If I'm in London, by all means, I'll come and walk.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. So, to reiterate and to re-emphasize on things, we've said that high blood pressure is a significant risk to stroke. Diabetes, you need to control it. Smoking, you need to sort this out. It's a lifestyle modification. If you take alcohol, by all means, tail it down, bring it down if you can. High cholesterol, it comes down to our food, the kind of things that we eat, the kind of things that we allow in. And then what? Obesity. If you're gaining too much weight, if your waistline is getting wider, please don't go and buy a different trousers or a different belt, but work to bring it down or to maintain it. Lack of exercise. I think that if we sort out our physical activities down, a lot of these things will be sorted somehow. I think, in my opinion, I personally, um, I, I, I have maintained, I think, my weight for the last maybe 10 years or so, and I don't think I do anything special apart from watching what I eat, how much I eat, and trying to do bit and bit of, even if it's just a simple push up here, even if it's just about 10 or 15 minutes of football there. So I consciously do a few bit of things to just to keep myself in order. And I think it's a conscious effort. If you keep that, it saves you from some of these things. So I would go back to my audience a bit. I don't want to leave you. I know the discussion is getting intense. The experts are talking a lot. Unfortunately, we are not allowing call-ins. It's just because of technical issues. We've not been able to have that today, but I'm sure with time we'll be able to do that. So thanks again to our audience listening to us from home, listen to us from your work, listen to us in your bedrooms. We really appreciate that you're taking the time to listen, and we hope and we believe that you'll be able to take one or two things from today's discussion. We are talking about stroke. It's a month of stroke awareness, so we want everybody to be aware of this condition. It's a condition that affects people and their families. The knock-on effect is very severe and significant. And as Jacqueline said, you could live long, but are you living long with a weak arm, with an asymmetrical face? Are you living without being able to speak? You know, all these deficit that happens with stroke can be temporary, it can be permanent. If it doesn't kill you, it leaves you with what? Significant effect. So the aim is what? Is to prevent it. The aim is to stop it from happening. Now, a few questions to us. Can stress cause stroke? Can stress cause stroke? I'm sure we are all stressed one way or the other. I'm sure the work you do is stressful. Our family lives are stressful. You probably have you have a friend in your life that stresses you. Can stress cause stroke?
Definitely.
Yes, lady. Lady said definitely. Definitely. Definitely it can cause stroke. Um and yes, I agree it can cause stroke because stress can increase your blood pressure. And blood pressure can cause those tiny, tiny vessels in your brain to rupture. So, yes, it can cause stroke. And high blood pressure obviously has a lot of other effects. We will not go into it today because we want to narrow things down. But yes, stress can cause stroke. Is stroke hereditary? Is this something that runs in a family? If my mother has had stroke, my father has had stroke, is there guarantee? Is there high risk, high chance that I would also get stroke?
Can I come in, Mark?
Yes, please.
I would say that looking at some of the factors that contribute to um, the development of stroke. So we talked about high blood pressure. We
Yes.
talked about diabetes.
Yes.
So, and these conditions tend to be hereditary.
Correct.
So if we go a family member or a parent or somebody who's got stroke in who has suffered some of these conditions, the likelihood that we would also suffer is quite high unless we are doing the preventative.
Correct.
Taking that approach to minimize the risk of these things happening. But yes, there's a likelihood we can inherit stroke based on these contributory factors.
Yes. And I also add there, I mean, in my family personally, I mean, I've had people who've had stroke, and I've probably seen it all: stroke, diabetes, whatnot. And recently, my mother came to England to visit me, yeah? And she's all fit and well. She's a petite lady, not big, not large. And then she went for a health check, and that's how I said glucose level is higher. Surprisingly, and it shocked all of us, But she's well, she's going about, and she's been put on metformin. So sometimes the disease is there silently, but maybe it's asymptomatic. Before it hits you like that. So you're right to say that there is hereditary component, especially with the causes of this stroke. And paying attention to the lifestyle changes, as we have mentioned, is useful because it helps you, could save your life. Can someone recover fully after stroke? From our expert opinions and from our expert experiences and from also our own family experiences, can someone recover fully after a stroke? Yes, Helen.
Yes, I believe someone can recover fully. Depends on the extent of the stroke, and it depends on how quickly the person receives medical attention, and also the support and the rehabilitation and the physio and everything. If it's on time and the stroke is not as massive, then the person can make a full recovery.
Yes, 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 yes to that. Yes, lady.
Thanks, Mark. Yes, I think Auntie Helen has answered that, but I just wanted to add that I'm glad you talked about, or you did ask this question about, can someone recover fully? Because so far we've been talking about the symptoms, the prevention. It looks like we need to balance the message that we're giving out there so that it's it's reassuring for listeners that yes, you could get stroke, but you could also fully recover from it, having done all the things that Auntie Helen mentioned. So it's good to give that positive message as well. And yes, you could fully recover from stroke depending on how it is managed when the stroke strikes. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, and to add a bit to that, I have seen firsthand, like I said before, I deal with this on a daily basis. I've seen people who get stroke, get weak, get numb, can't speak, and some of them get better with time. The key point is the timing. The timing is crucial. If it's identified quickly in hospital, because there are lots of things that can be done if you get stroke. It could be from what you called medical management to surgical management, and sometimes to doing nothing. Obviously, depends on the stroke. We've talked about ischemic stroke, hemorrhagic stroke, TIA, and underlying cause. And I have seen people walk out hospital completely intact, completely fine, even though they presented with stroke. I want to also emphasize that rehabilitation. Yes, lady, go on. Hi, lady. Is your hand up?
I do apologize. I didn't realize I was muted.
That's
Um,
fine.
if you were to recover fully from stroke, it will be dependent on a few factors, and
Yes.
and I will just focus a little bit back home. You know, in Ghana, there's so many conditions or factors that impact on our ability to even manage the condition that we go through. So if somebody suffers from stroke, there is a financial implication because you need to get
Yeah.
rehab at home is not free. So
No.
sometimes these things would financially people are impacted and they're not able to go through or to get the services and as well the treatment and the rehab that they need. In this country is different. So your ability to recover fully from stroke is dependent on some of these factors, and it's rather unfortunate, but this is what it is. So yeah, just wanted to highlight that. But if you have the opportunity to go through the process of going through rehabilitation, going through treatment, please don't, because some people will say, I can't be bothered, I'm not going to go, and there's that level of non-engagement. But you have to ensure that we make the most out of the resources that are available so that we can fully recover from the condition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was also going to speak about the rehabilitation aspect, and sometimes it's a shame, because it, it you, the stroke we are talking about is very common, obviously, in our circles. But you also find that you would think that African countries, would have dedicated stroke units because the condition is so prevalent. But we actually don't. And our leaders and even our governments and our politicians have not invested in some of these things. So you find that even rehabilitation, the physiotherapists, how many physiotherapists do we have in Ghana? Not many. So the demand, you'll find that people would have stroke and they are not getting that ample amount of what rehabilitation that is required to maximize recovery. And yes, when those things are done correctly, you could have proper recovery from stroke. And can you return back to normal life? And the answer is, I believe, yes, you can. If we tick a lot of those boxes, we get things in the right place, in the right time, the right family support, the right therapy input, and the right medical treatment. The experts, the stroke doctors, the stroke nurses, the stroke physicians are all in unison. Then, yes, one can what? Attain and achieve full recovery. As medics, probably have dealt with stroke patients, but on the family level, when you personally have somebody with stroke that you are dealing with, it's daunting, it's emotionally demanding, it's economically demanding, and all those things. And there are many experiences that we go through when we are dealing with stroke, someone who has suffered from stroke. So I would want us to touch a bit about the mental health aspect of stroke and how to deal with that. Anybody has any advice for our listeners, especially when it comes to depression, the anxiety, the frustration? Think about it. If you're somebody who is fit and well, able to use your arms, able to speak, able to engage, and then out of nowhere, you can't actually walk, you can't actually talk. How do we deal with that? How do we support people with this kind of issues?
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
And before you come in, lady, I know you have done your there. Before you come in, I will want to say something. I personally had an uncle who was very agile man. You know, he had his own church he was running, he had his own school, he was very active. Then he suffered stroke. It was so frustrating for him. You know, you can't pin the person down. You know, it's very emotionally depressing, you know, feeling. Very sad, you know. And as family, you know, you go to the person, you know, and sometimes you find that you don't even know what to do. You don't know what to say to them. You don't know how to encourage them. You don't know how to support them. So the question, you know, bemoans, what do we do when you have a family member who has suffered stroke? How do you support them? What are the answers?
Yeah, can I just come in, Mark?
Yes, please.
You, I suppose we're talking about family members, but as nurses, we also support patients with stroke.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll touch a bit about the I suppose the psychological aspect of it, the depression. The impact of stroke in terms of depression is very high. I mean, the patient that we go, the nurses go around seeing, a lot of them, those who have patients that have suffered stroke, a lot of them are quite depressed because, as you said, they are not able to do the things that they used to do. Well, some of them are not able to for a long time until they get to the point where they fully recovered. And I think Jacqueline also mentioned something about the quality of life. You've had suffered stroke, and yes, you may. It's so impactful to the point where the stroke patients tend to. Some of them tend to commit suicide because it impacts on their thinking, their ability not to do the things that they used to do. But I suppose in this country there are resources and there's support available. So if a member of your a member of your family suffers stroke, yeah, there are, you can call the GPs available to support. There is the OT, there are the physios. We have specialists who can actually intervene to support. We talked about rehab to support the stroke patients to recover fully, almost fully, or almost fully. So there's those resources available. But if it's your family member, so say for one of us, I mean, my mother-in-law suffered stroke, we're talking about a lived experience, and to date, the family has not recovered from that incident. What we do is that it can be quite impactful in terms, it can be frustrating because there's demand on you as a family member to support that person who's had a stroke to manage their life, and it impacts on your life as well, your ability to do what you have to do. You may need to change your lifestyle, your working pattern. You may need to get extra resources in both back home and sometimes here. So we need to be mindful that if a member of your family suffers stroke, it is going to impact on you as well, and you need to dedicate time to make sure that they are well they are okay, they are supported psychologically, mentally, physically, in all aspects of their life. Because sometimes without you, they may not even be able to live the life that they need to live. So it is quite impactful. So we just have to bear that in mind. Yeah.
That is very well said. Helen, did you have your hand up, please?
Yes, just to add a little bit to what Sister Ivy is saying. And I'm going to place my explanation in Ghana situation, in the context of Ghanaian life in Ghana. The people that are supporting, or the family members that are supporting the person with stroke, needs to understand and have some sort of empathic understanding. Because if you ever say, oh yeah, you're not, means the person is cantankerous, not responding, not complying, or the person is crying all the time. I've been in a situation where a family member said, oh, where they would want to cry for because they get frustrated and they don't really understand. Or they look for somebody from the village to come and stay with you, or some young person to come who really have no idea. So it's very important in a fear condition. They you have to have patience. They cry all the time. They don't seem to appreciate your support they are giving them. It's because it's like the story you've just told about your uncle. Somebody who was up and about, who commands authority, and all of a sudden you become dependent on everybody. And it's the frustration, the depression. Not that the stroke patient doesn't understand the support the family members are giving, but it's the condition itself. They go inside themselves, getting very depressed, and especially if language is affected. If the person cannot talk properly, it is so hard. And they see it as shame, as everything that is unimaginable. So it is for the family members that are supporting the stroke person to understand and to be able to support, no matter how he or she behaves. To bear with the person, because the depression will come, the tears will come all the time, the anger will come, the cantankerousness will come, and the non-compliance of things will come. They give up. But if you understand them and be able to reassure them and get consistency with the treatment, with the physio, with everything, it encourages them and they bring them out to the other end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is very well said. Yes, it's important, and like I used like people say, prevention is the key. So the knock-on effect of the condition is very, very serious. It's not something we should play with. And I think lady said something that I think is very important. Sometimes you have to change your life completely because you have a family member who has suffered a stroke. And it's I don't know how important or how serious is. So the little things that we've talked about, the exercises, the lifestyle modification, watching your diet, having your regular checks up, if you are hypertensive, take your medicine, all those things are absolutely so important. I don't know how much emphasis we can place on these things, because the evidence is there for all of us to see what the condition can do to people, and not just the person but the people around you. Yes, lady.
I just wanted to say that this may sound funny, but I remember when we were young, it was our older, I suppose, family members who were suffering from stroke. So you would hear your grandparents or this older person in their 70s. But these days, I mean, this is an observation I've made. I don't have the data to support it, but I've made the observation where the younger people in their 40s, 30s, 40s are suffering from stroke. I don't know why. I mean, I suppose there may be a reason, but I just want to say that we just have to be mindful and be aware that stroke is not a respecter of people's ages anymore. It's now coming down to the lower I suppose, ages, and it's affecting everyone. So we just have to be mindful. It is not the older 70s and 80s that we used to know before. Now things have changed. So let's just be mindful and do what we can do to prevent it from happening.
That's wonderful. That was you've taken us already into the myths and the misconceptions, which is very good. Yeah. So that was my next thing we are going to look at. But before we come to the myth, I want to acknowledge our listeners and our audience. Once again, Patricia.
Yes.
I think you've just joined, isn't it?
No, I've been on from morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah.
I hope I did not ignore you completely.
No. I was just quiet listening.
Yes, sure. I'm not sure I let you introduce yourself. Forgive me. Maybe it was my screen.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, go ahead. Please introduce yourself first.
My
sorry.
name is Patricia Brown. You're from Ghana Nurses Association.
Hi, Patricia.
Hello, everyone.
Yes.
I just wanted to support what lady said just now regarding the young people.
Yeah.
And this happened recently. And it's come down to say that the younger ones don't want to take the medications for blood pressures or because they will become impotent. So most of them that are dying very young are because they are refusing medications. And they are not taking it. Because they're not taking it, blood pressures are shooting very high and causing them sudden illnesses and death.
Yeah.
So we have to look at that side of it too. When it comes to education, people are not aware of what the signs and symptoms are. We have talked about it. But in Ghana, most people don't take these things on board. So we need to educate them on that as well. We have to have more awareness for them to know that these are the implications if they have to come. Secondly, most of our African people rely on these, their Osofos, the ministers in Ghana. Osofo, pray for me. And they are not taking their medications, thinking that will solve the problem. If they suffer stroke, instead of them to go to hospitals, they go to the churches and go and just like put themselves down there praying, and Osofo is going to bless the water for them to start taking the water. Drinking the water from morning till evening. It's not helping. So we need to curb that attitude and save lives. Because going to prayers is good, but do the needful. The needful is to control the blood pressure. Eat well, exercise well, and socialize. Some people live with anxieties because they don't know what tomorrow holds. We all don't know. But when you are in groups, you are able to socialize, share your ideas, share your views, share your problems, and then you feel better in society. So this is a little that I can add to what is being said. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your input, and I'm sure you will have some more to say. And forgive me again, I missed you there completely.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm fine.
Thank you so much. I was going to move into Helen's hand is up. Hi, Helen.
Oh, just to add to what Sister Patricia said, that well said. This talk is for the healthier population. It is the healthier population because our people think I'm healthy, so they don't go for any screening whatsoever. And through screening, we pick up the blood pressure, the diabetes, this and that and that. So the talk is not for those who are sick at home. Health talk is for, and it's intergenerational. It's for the young as well as for the old. So this talk is for you, a healthy young man or a healthy young woman. The healthier you are, the more you have to listen to the talk and to go for screening. Don't take your healthiness as an excuse not to comply with anything. Because when the symptoms or the stroke comes, it's all sudden. Everything is all of a sudden. You have no warning. That is why the healthier you are, the more you should appreciate to go for screening. So if things are, we can pick up something before it becomes a problem to you. So the healthier population, the more screening we have to do. This is just what I want to add. Thank you.
Excellent. I know that we are running out of time, and it's important for people to get the take homes out and out to the audience. But I want to thank the audience again. This is for you. You are the most important people here today, this time, this hour. Mostly because you've joined us from obviously your homes. You're listening to us on radio, on YouTube, and on Facebook. We are happy. We would always try our best to be here to engage, interact, and I would also want to again highlight that come 20th of June, the health outreach by Hot Digital, the Ghana Doctors and Dentists Association, and the Nurses Association is happening. Last year was really good, really encouraging, very educational, very sociable. We learned a lot. We had exciting time. That's why we're doing it twice this year. First is coming in June. It will be a good weather, I believe. Bring families, bring friends. It will happen in London. The postcode and the place that this will happen will be at, let me get it right so I don't give you wrong information. Please give me a minute. I'll tell you briefly. When you're looking for something, sometimes you can't find it. But I think it's somewhere called Poplar Road, if I'm not wrong. Is that correct?
Yes, it's popular. Calvary Charismatic Church.
Okay. Thank you, Helen, for saving me. And there'll be different talks, there'll be different panel discussion, there'll be free screening services. It's free for everyone to attend. So keep it, save the date, 20th of June, between 9 a.m., I believe, to about 6 p.m. Or is it in the afternoon, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.? So please come around. Let's engage with each other. I believe we'll be lucky to be blessed with our High Commissioner, and there'll be other important health experts there. There'll be dental health screening and consultation services. Me, myself, I will be there, as always. That's that. We are moving on to stroke again. We are rounding up. We are just about a few minutes. There are a few myths and misconceptions about stroke, and Helen, Patricia, and Lady have briefly talked on it. That stroke, some people think stroke only affects old people, and that is obviously false. It doesn't affect only old people. It affects the young, even very, very young people. There's a condition, something called moya disease. It's a condition of blood vessels, and it can cause tiny bits of strokes that develops with time, or it progresses with time. So sometimes in the advanced world, they identify these conditions early, and they have surveillance for these sort of patients, and they deal with it accordingly. Obviously, in a part of the world where surveillance is not always readily available or affordable, makes things difficult. So yes, stroke can affect everybody, and especially with the high demands of stressful lifestyle these days, the young are getting more stroke. Can stroke be prevented? Yes, it can be. Some people think that you cannot prevent stroke. Obviously, based on our discussion today, we have come to the realization, understanding, and the knowledge that if we do certain things, you can prevent stroke. So it's a myth to think that stroke cannot be prevented. Just because your mother, your family member, or your friend got stroke doesn't mean that you also have to get stroke. You can absolutely prevent stroke. Once someone has a stroke, recovery is impossible. Again, that is also false. We have come to the understanding again that with the right timing, if you get the right input at the right time with the right rehabilitation, you can make recovery. Sometimes you'll be left with a deficit, with disability, but yes, you can make partial or full recovery with rehabilitation. It's sometimes it's a lot of time is required. Obviously, it's frustrating, but being patient, going through the rehabilitation can help. What about traditional remedies? And I'll bring this to my experts to have their opinion and input because we know that healthcare is expensive in Ghana, and sometimes that make people believe or think that traditional medicine alone can solve or treat stroke. What does everyone think about this? If we can have a quick input on this before we run things up, I'll be happy. Traditional remedies.
Traditional remedies, they can be very good and also very bad because of toxicity. You may be taking what you don't know. You don't know the dose. You don't know how it will affect other organs. The thing is, you need to see a physician before you start taking these things. And I would suggest if you are not, you having the symptoms of stroke or you've had a stroke, when all is done and you are stabilized and they say, okay, it's fine for you now, you can start having some remedies. Yes, that's fine. But if you don't know the cause of your stroke and you are taking all these remedies, I think you are making things worse. So see a doctor first before you start taking it. On the other hand, too, don't take what you don't know. I'd rather you go for the massages than taking things systemic because you don't know what you're taking. This is my take on that one. But the herbals can help. How the toxicity is, we don't know. And that is where danger also comes in with that. Thank you.
For some reason, it looks like Mark is left the platform. Mark, are you there?
He's back.
He's back now. Good.
Hello, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got lost there. I'm back.
We lost you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Patricia, for your input there. I think I heard a bit about the toxicity, the dosage, about traditional remedies. It's important to see a physician. Or we just 9 o'clock. I will let who will do the final 1 minute so that we can run it up. Who wants to go? Ajua, give us the last words and then we can thank everybody so that we would call it a day.
Hello?
Hi.
So I suppose my final words would be that so like stroke, it's a serious condition. Yeah. It can happen very quickly. Yeah. It's important to recognize the signs of stroke. Remember the FAST acronym. Yeah. It can be preventable. So think about blood pressure control, lifestyle choices, so exercise, good diet, stress reduction. Yeah. I've got a little bit more time, about another minute, is it, to say things? And then the other thing is even if you have stroke in your family, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to suffer it. And I suppose what I would say is you can't change who your mother is, you can't change who your father is, you can't change your ethnicity, but you can sort of make lifestyle choices. Correct. And even if you do suffer a stroke, if you get help, get support, you may be able to recover fully or recover to the best that's possible. Excellent. So it's not, even though it's serious, it's not all doom and gloom. You can recover well. And if you like, the other thing is to try and focus on what you can do and improve and build upon that. That's enough said from me. And thank you everybody for listening.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, experts. Please enjoy your Saturdays. Lovely. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Bye.
Take Hot Digital Online Radio wherever you go. Download our Android app from the Google Play Store and our iOS app from the App Store. Enjoy the best music, news, and entertainment anytime, anywhere.
www.hotdigitalonline.com www.hotdigitalonline.com www.hotdigitalonline.com
Take Hot Digital Online Radio wherever you go. Download our Android app from the Google Play Store and our iOS app from the App Store. Enjoy the best music, news, and entertainment anytime, anywhere.
Are you weary of land disputes and never-ending legal battles? It's time to claim a legacy that truly belongs to you. Welcome to Rehoboth Havens, where we simplify the journey to home ownership for Ghanaians, whether you are at home or abroad. Located in the Tranke Hills of Ayimensa Damfa, our community offers stunning vistas of the Pediasing Ebri Mountains. Experience peace of mind in our secure, gated community, thoughtfully designed for your comfort amidst beautifully landscaped surroundings and premium recreational spaces. At Rehoboth Social Housing, we are here to turn your dreams into reality. With just 30% deposit, move into one of our ready-to-occupy homes today. We will extend your remaining balance over 5 years, providing the flexibility and assurance your family deserves. Choose from our modern 2-bedroom homes, the luxurious 3-bedroom sunbay, or our spacious 4-bedroom detached residences. Starting at just 675,000 Ghana cedis, your dream of home ownership is finally within reach. Don't wait any longer. Call us today at +233 55 375 1933 or +44 7917 376631. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
London Fue, moya ready ana. Where you need some wo? Eye Dr. Likey Life. Where you show me a ultimate you who from Mukra. Jina ye every say Dr. Likey in the dom eba Londona. Na eye enijisem, astresem, anyum, any agra hudo bevri. Dr. Likey Life jumedie eba su 22nd May 2026. Ewo Indigo O2 London. Branebe share yen special guest biti se Acrobato. Nanama Mac Brown, Popo Kumase, Emilia Brobe, Opoko Bilson, anyone ya wakika home. Anyum to 4 Beji ni ebini medical. O Kenneth, J Bad. Na yesan was surprise special guest mao. Bichire say obesre, obesa na obe feel Dr. Likey vibe no. Dr. Likey live ebe ya na dubia uwure mfida. Yen entem na jo ticket wo www.shoops.com answer na sejao. Eye Dr. Likey live ewo O2.
Black is beauty man pop. When they come to the open gate.
Ewiase we de ebinum wo ho a efutu ntimi homo ensohwe entimi homo asodin no 247 wa ho say yanom de enya adwuma biem ba me check akwa we kura sa afa no a
hello ochame
ojam ogunso ana sa odam
hey what boy me o e say me wo so some de unity link na me use intimate asem no why me nwanwa
na dua no wanya mo
me boy you enso enye obia
Mr. Sabanis Kamania, opening wa yache, Unity Link, your office will UK, USA, Europe, Ghana, any baby, UK Financial Conduct Authority, and our license here, Yanni Banks, any telcos are doing in a year, and Kobanda say, Ubasorianopa, na Unity Link and do Ramo. Davy, so what is the car air called Ghana? That's the one for Unity Link anya. What the high risk for him? Uzikano, a bet me akpeme. Unity Link Ghana in India. 30 years ni no punch. The animariano. Yanso kania hwedeni manaju. Media me say, Ebanis Kamania. Unity Link neko. Unity Link, simple, secure and fast.
Every year we return bigger and better. Once again, Africa brings you the greatest live band event. It's big. It's live concert in London. Davidson Band presents the Maestro, the Music Man, Kojo Entry, and the all-time Fred Maidway. The night will be glowing with a super performance by the unforgettable, entertaining Davidson Band. Oh, it's gonna be exciting! Date Saturday, 5th September 2026. Time is 8 p.m. till we drop. Venue, Dominion Center, 9 Broadway Highway Road, Green N226DS, London. What more can you ask for? Live concert in London, back to back with the Maestro, the Music Man, Kojo Entry, Fred Mayway, and the Zoe Band, hosted by DJ Force, Kweku Ofrimpong. Grab your tickets now on eventbrite.co.uk or